माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 11, Chapter title, The Transcendental Quality of Vritrasura, text number 22nd. Pumsam kilakanta diyam swakanam Yasam pado dive bhumo rasayam Narati yadvesha udvega adir Madat kaler vyasanam samprayasa Pumsa kilakanta diyam swakanam Yasam pado divi bhumo rasayam Narati yadvesha udvegadir Madakaler vyasanam samprayasa Pumsa kilakanta diyam swakanam Yasam pado divi bhumo rasayam Narati yadvesha udvegadir Madakalar vyasaram samprayasa Pumsam kilekanta diya swakanam Yasam pado divi bhumo rasayam Rati yadvesha udvega Madakala vasam samprayasa Pumsam kilekanta diyam swakanam Yasam pado devi bhumo rasayam Narati yadvesha udvegadir Madakaler rasanam samprayasa Pumsam Yasam pado devi bhumo rasayam Nayati radvesha udvegaradi Madakaler vyasanam samprayasa माता जी Mumsam kilekanta diyam saukanam yasam pado divya bhumo rasayam narati yadvesha udvegade mada kaler vasanam samprayasa. What to word meaning? Pumsam, unto person. Kila, certainly. Ekanta dhyam, who are advanced in spiritual consciousness. Swakanam, who are recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his own. As his own. Yaha, which sampada, opulences, devi, in the upper planetary systems, bhumo, in the middle planetary systems, rasayam, and in the lower planetary systems, na, not, rati, bestows, yat, from which, dvesha, envy, udvega, anxiety, adi, mental agitation, mada, pride, kali, quarrel, vyasanam, distress due to loss, samprayasa, great endeavor. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Person who fully surrender at the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead and always think of his lotus feet are accepted and recognized by the Lord as his own personal assistants or servants. The Lord never bestow upon such servant the brilliant opulences of the upper, lower and middle planetary system of this material world. When one possesses material opulences in any of these three divisions of the universe, his possessions naturally increase his enmity, anxiety, mental agitation, pride and belligerence. Thus one goes through much endeavor to increase and maintain his possessions, and he suffers great unhappiness when he loses them. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita 4.11 the Lord says, Ye yatham mam prapadante tam sateva bhajamiham mahamavartaman varante manusyam partha sarvasha. As devotees surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follow my path in all respects, O son of Pratha. Both Indra and Vritrasur were certainly devotees of the Lord. Although Indra took instruction from Vishnu to kill Vritrasur, the Lord was actually more favorable to Vritrasur because after being killed by Indra's thunderbolt, Vritrasur would go back to Godhead, whereas the victorious Indra would rot in the material world, in this material world. Because both of them were devotees, the Lord awarded them the respective benediction they wanted. Vritrasur never wanted material possessions, for he knew very well the nature of such possessions. To accumulate material possessions, one must labor very hard, and when he gets them, he creates many enemies, because this material world is always full of rivalry. If one becomes rich, his friends or relatives are envious. For Ekanta Bhaktas, unalloyed devotees, Krishna therefore never provides material possessions. A devotee sometimes needs some material possession for preaching, but the possessions of a preacher are not like those of a karmi. A karmi's possessions are achieved as a result of karma, but those of a devotee are arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead just to facilitate his devotional activities. Because a devotee never uses material possessions for any purpose other than the service of the Lord, the possessions of a devotee are not to be compared to those of a karmi. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utar Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cham Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sagana Raghunatham तं जीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखावितं च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिते नामले नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते हरे कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिवसे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभयस्य कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. First of all, I seek the blessings from all the Vaishnavas, especially many senior devotees are sitting here. Mamshodan Prabhu, Rasar Prabhu, or Bosare, so many devotees are there. So they bless me so that I can speak of this Bhagavatam, so that I can speak on this Bhagavatam to Sir, all of you, and to Sir, please the Supreme Lord. So after some days, maybe week or 10 days, nice Krishna Katha was happening and some festivals. So we are again back to our own topic of Bhagavatam. So this chapter name is called as Transcendental Qualities of Vritrasura. Because these chapters, as the verse by verse this chapter is going on, so many beautiful qualities, as gem-like qualities of Vritrasura is coming out. Especially most important qualities is going to come next, last 3 verses, which is very close. This shows that how the devotion of actually which even Parishit Maharaj also got surprised when he saw that he is such a demon, Vritrasura is a demon. So how he is getting such a devotion toward the Lord. So therefore this pastime began to answer of this Parishit Maharaj question. So many good qualities of Vritrasura is coming. So today verse actually is explaining about how the Lord reciprocate to such kind of a devotee, pure devotees. So very nice translation and very beautiful purport Prabhupada is bringing out. So we'll discuss on this. So Lord is about, it is mentioned that person who fully surrender to the Supreme Lord, or one who is always meditating on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, so then what happen? The Lord accepted and recognized by, so that such person is recognized and accepted by the Lord as his own personal assistant or servant. So Lord consider him as by personal servants or assistants. And then ahead it will goes that when one is become the personal assistant servants, the Lord will never give him. What will never give him? The brilliant opulences of the 3 worlds, upper, middle and lower. Upper, lower and middle planetary system of this material world. Because the nature of this, the possession of this, any of the possession of material qualities from this planet, what happen? When one possesses material opulence in any of the 3 divisions of the universe, his possessions naturally increase his enmity, anxiety, mental agitation, pride and belligerence. And to maintain and to sustain it, he has to go much hard endeavor. Goes through much hard endeavor to maintain and to increase his possession. And he suffer great unhappiness when he loses them. So these are the things which is mentioned about that, which the nature of this material world, because everyone likes to having these things in this material world, and the nature is that everyone will feel, goes to so much anxiety, enmity, everything. Therefore, the Lord will not give to His pure devotee. So, and many places, 2, 3 more places, this kind of verse comes. I just take the one verse. It is coming in from 11th canto, 23rd chapter, verse number 18 and 19. There it is mentioned that theft, violence, speaking lies, duplicity, lust, anger, perplexity, pride, quarreling, enmity, faithlessness, envy, and the dangers caused by woman, gambling, and intoxication are the 15 undesirable qualities that contaminated men because of greed for wealth. Although these qualities are undesirable, men falsely ascribe value to them. One desiring to achieve the real benefit of life should therefore remain aloof from undesirable material wealth. Jai Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Jagannath Baldev Sudan Govinda Prabhupada ki jai. So here also mentioning that 15 bad qualities, we can say that when when one is a greedy or for the wealth or post and position. So therefore mentioning that one should remain aloof for undesirable material wealth. And in other places also it mentioned that about in Prahlad Maharaj section, and even in the same section it will also comes. So this is the nature of the material world, that a person having all the things but still is unhappy. So then what happened? Like it is like so Lord take care of His devotees such a way, like we give the example how the parents take care of their child, like Shyam Prabhu example, that a child when is small in the school, goes to the school and he sees the sweet in the shop, but in the sweet, that all the sweets is full of the so much fly. So they wanted that, I wanted the sweet, but mother knows that what is good for his health, so mother will not give. And in replace, mother will give very nicely made in home sweet. So similarly, Lord will not give all these things to His pure devotee, but what He will give? He will give the nectar which is coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. Sa charnamridya vishaya bhulaya. So Lord gives so much nectar, so much about, so that He completely forget what He completely forget that what are the people are looking in this material world. So therefore, Lord personally take care of His devotees. And in Bhagavad Gita also many places Lord has given promise that how He take care of His devotees so nicely. So the same verse Prabhu is quoting in purport also. So in purport Prabhu is mentioning that many things is mentioning. I just focusing on some of the things. He mentioned that ye yathamam prapadante. Lord will reciprocate according to the way devotee is having desire. Like here mentioned that the Lord so the mentioned that Vritarasura, the Lord was actually more favorable to Vritarasura, because after being killed by Indra's thunderbolt, Vritarasura would go back to Godhead. Actually, Vritarasura does not wanted to anything of the material world. He just wanted to whatever Lord's desire is there for him, he wanted to go. So accept that only. So therefore, he wanted to go back to Godhead. Whereas the Indra, for Indra, Prabhu was writing that although the victorious Indra would rot in this material world. He does not wanted to go opposite back to Godhead. He wanted his material opulences back, all these things. And therefore the Lord reciprocated accordingly. So this is actually special qualities of a Bhagavatam, that Bhagavatam gives both things. the person who are living in the material world, Bhagavatam speak things about that person also. Like as we see the translation mentioning this, bad qualities comes which Lord protect to his devotees. So the same things we can apply these things in Indra. Indra is having all the material opulences. So therefore all these things are coming into the Indra. Like he was having anxiety always to protect to whatever kingdom he have. So here mentioning that. So here mentioned that he possesses, increases enmity. Always is fearful or afraid that demons are attacking. This pastime actually happened because of this only. Indra was having all the opulences and he not properly he was having understanding. So therefore all the bad qualities are just coming. Enmity, mental agitation, pride. So this pastime happened because of the pride of Indra, all this thing. And then we saw that so much killings happened. He killed to Vishwarup and he wanted the bones of Adadichi, and so much sinful activities also happened because of to protect these opulences and having all this thing. So this is the nature of this material world. Therefore the Lord always take care of devotees nicely. Another point is, I just think, actually on this topic of Vetrasur pastime, Guru Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj has spoke very nice, big class in Pune Yatra. So I was hearing that to refer for references. So one nice point section is mentioned. Maharaj was explaining that. He was thinking, especially he was speaking for devotees, and in that also he was speaking more about the Grasta devotees. So he was telling that a devotee in his life, when he sees that he is having three kind of responsibilities. A devotee is having three kind of responsibility. First responsibility is professional, means whatever job or whatever careers he was having. Second responsibility says that family responsibility. And the third responsibility is spiritual responsibility. So these three responsibilities devotee is having always. So when the challenges, when the difficult things comes in the life, so which thing he will compromise? Spiritual. We all have experience of voices, yogas. So naturally he will compromise the spiritual things. So, but Maharaj tell that actually, so he will compromise this spiritual thing, but actually spiritual thing is like a foundation. He was like a foundation. If like he says that when he is doing job, at the end of the month he is getting salary, some result he is getting. So then he will not like to compromise that things. Similarly, because he is taking care of nice families properly, so his relationship was nicely developing. So therefore that compromise also will not come. But comes to the spiritual life, he is seeing that I am practicing from so many years, so many things I am doing in spiritual life, so all the activities, but still so many anarthas are still there and not finding any some result is coming. So then naturally he goes to compromising of that thing only. But Maharaj says that actually this spiritual life is a foundation. Because if foundation is nice, then the first two things will be taken care very nicely, which happened to the Chitraketu Maharaj life. In the life of Chitraketu Maharaj, because he was taking care of first two things, third thing he was not very serious. Although Angira Muni was coming every time. Angira Muni says that I was going in his house every time. But whenever I see that he was so much having hankering of I have no son. So therefore he wanted to speak of spiritual topic, but he was not very serious. But he was for first two things he was nicely was there. He was taking care of his kingdom. He was taking care of his family, but not very serious in spiritual life. So the result of is that he went through so much suffering in his life, so much suffering. Because he was having everything, one thing is not having in his life, he suffered so much. Like Maharaj gives example, a person is having all the things, nice opulences, nice food, nice clothes, nice everything. But one time he walking on the road, and the one thorn is just goes into the feet, and it clears so much pain to him. And then he was having such a nice food, very opulent, he was nice dressed, but his whole attention was on the feet, because that was giving him pain. So similarly, Chitraketu Maharaj was having all the things, but was not having one son. So therefore it gives him so much pain in his life. It is like surgery without going to anesthesia. So much pain. But when then Angira Muni gave him, and then he got the son, and then the son died, and then he brought to Narad Muni, and Narad Muni gave him instructions about the spiritual life. And after that the son also preached to this Chitraketu Maharaj. Then he took the spiritual life very seriously. And then we can say that his other things, family, because he makes devotee, that they also co-wife, and the wife also, they become devotee. And he took the very, take care of them things. So the Chitraketu Maharaj example actually tells that when one is, third thing is taking very seriously, the other two things also we become responsible for that. But only taking care of first two things, not very serious about the spiritual third things, then it is like outside the world we seeing that how the people are just taking care of their family, and they are taking care of their job, but not very much interested in spiritual life. The same thing will happen, means not become very serious. But when one take spiritual life very seriously, he understand the value of the responsibility he has to take care also. So therefore this too happens to the Chitraketu Maharaj life. And what are the qualities? Our chapter name is Transcendent Qualities of Vritrasur is there. What are the qualities? His transcendent qualities are coming out. First we can say that is faith. His Shraddha is so much increased. He has full faith that this thunderbolt is made under the instruction of the Supreme Lord. So this thunderbolt is going to work. So this thunderbolt is going to work. Whereas as opposite of that, Indra was not having faith, because his faith is not much developed. So he was trying to kill Vritrasur by his own weapon. But then he got failed, and then Vritrasur is preaching to him. So this was the one, his faith so much increased. How this faith has increased? From previous life only. He has got such a, this Chitraketu Maharaj has went through the experience in his life. So much painful experience he went. And after then, he heard also from the great souls. And therefore this Shraddha has so much increase on that. And whereas and after then his desire also. What is the desire of the Chitraketu Maharaj, Vritrasur? He just in desire is just wanted to go back to Godhead and to serve the Lord according the way the Lord wants. So much so that his Shraddha has developed that he sees that everything in connection with the Lord. When he got curse from the Mother Parvati, so he also saw that is the mercy of the Lord. He not saw that thing is much different from the will of the Lord. So therefore this happens to by the devotee's life. When he take association properly, like before he was having association but not very serious, but after then he took association so nicely, so properly. So the great souls association, and then we not required to go to the experience in our life. We just hear from this great soul and hear from the Bhagavatam, and then we will learn and then apply. So therefore when one hears from great souls, then one will get so much benefit. So these are the 2 points. And one more things Prabhupada is mentioning in the verse is that Prabhupada is explaining about for Ekanta Bhaktas, unalloyed devotee. So for Ekanta Bhakta is like means pure devotee, only desires to just serve the Supreme Lord. So and this kind of Ekanta Bhakta comes in Gajendra prayer also, where Gajendra is also praying to the about the Lord's protection or Lord's mercy. So for Ekanta Bhakta, it is mentioned that there have the 2 qualities for the Ekanta Bhakta, means pure devotees. One quality is just they relish remembrance, they relish the remembrance of the Supreme Lord, and always be blissful and just wanted to serve. So that was the first quality. And second quality for them is to show compassion to the living entity. It says that because if one is loving to the Lord, then naturally he loves to all living entities. Because they see that the connection of the living entity with the Lord. They don't see that the living entities are different. So therefore for them it becomes very natural to show compassion to the living entities. And then when you see that the one is not practicing Krishna consciousness and just wasting his time so much, so then he naturally feel compassion, and then he will go so much to go out and to preach. As we saw in the last week, Prabhupada Vyas Puja was there. So many devotees were speaking about the glories, about Prabhupada, about the compassion, how Prabhupada at that age also, he went to US and so much start preaching. So I also reading, currently I am reading this book of I Will Build Your Temple. So just I will get some opportunity to hear glorify Prabhupada also from that book. So that book is actually very nice about speaking Giriraj Maharaj and so many devotees about the Jew temple. So one pastime it comes that Prabhupada gave the responsibility of the Jew temple to His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, and Giriraj Swami Maharaj shared his thought that as actually by nature I don't like to take this kind of responsibilities in my life, where I have to take the management things. He does not like management things. But because Prabhupada has given, so he has to accept, to please Prabhupada, to serve Prabhupada. So at that time actually all devotees were very new. And so all very new also, all very young also, very young. So much passion, so much things was there. So when one time it happens that the special quality of Prabhupada is there, that he encouraged all devotees. Whatever Prabhupada write in the letter to His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, that the first quality of a leader is that he see that all devotees are nicely engaged in Krishna conscious services. You see that no devotee should feel that I am not doing anything in my temple. So one should see that this is a quality, and this is the leader should see that all devotees are nicely engaged. Otherwise, because of so many things will happen because devotees are not engaged in Krishna consciousness. So how Prabhupada and his letter was happening, both Prabhupada was writing letter and then Giriraj Swami Maharaj was giving the report what is happening now. So when it happens, then one devotee came. He came by his own and he told that I am very good in doing gardening. So then he wrote letter to Giriraj Swami Maharaj wrote letter to Prabhupada. Prabhupada first glorified, oh very nice, gardening so nice that we will get our flowers and fruits from our own gardening, so that we can offer it directly to Krishna. So therefore told to Giriraj Maharaj You provide him all the facilities according to whatever facilities required as a manpower, as a money power. Actually, that time was they not having any money. Still, Prabhu was saying that we should give him money, whatever requirement will be there. So then Giriraj Swami Maharaj gave him. What happened? There will be some tussle also happen before that, and therefore Giriraj Swami Maharaj wrote letter to Prabhupada. When the devotee came to Giriraj Swami Maharaj, that give me some money or give me some facility so that I can bring so many plants for growing flowers for the deities. So then Giriraj Maharaj told that we don't have enough fund. We don't have much fund. So then he became so angry on him. And then so much words come out from their mouths. And then Giriraj Maharaj wrote letter to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada told that actually you should become mature because they are very young and they required all these things. So just provide them, and if you want, then I will also give some requirement of hell, all these things. So then that devotee, then Giriraj Maharaj gave him, and then he was using. Another devotee came after some time, and he told that he likes to do for this food for life. He told that prasadam distribution he likes so much. And Giriraj Swami Maharaj wrote letter to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada encouraged him so much. Well, prasadam distribution, because in Kali Yuga, the only way to can preach to the people is just give them prasad nicely. When you give them prasad nicely, then they will come. First they will take prasad, and then they will hear kirtan, and then they will hear katha also, and slowly they become such a nice devotee. So therefore, one should help that devotee to this for distribution of prasadam. And that time they were not having so much. Actually, the rice was also not having the market. So much scarcity of rice was there. So they were only getting dal. So then the Giriraj Swami Maharaj gave this seva to the that name of Loknath Swami Maharaj. That name was Raghunath Prabhu was there. So Loknath Swami Maharaj, he also don't like this kind of seva to go door to door and bring rice from the people by begging. But he told that I'm a disciple of Prabhupada. So therefore the disciple think is that he has to beg for the spiritual master and give everything. So therefore he was just going to door to bring so much rice from the houses. And then he was using it for the cooking and was just feeding to the so many people will coming. In Jew area, so many poor people was there that time. And they were coming for the prasadam. And the report, he was sending report to the Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was very happy. And then still so many things were happening simultaneously, and Mr. N also was creating so much problem. Again and again, Giriraj Swami Maharaj to go to the court, goes to meet to this lawyer, to that lawyer. And in that between, this pastime also happened, where they sent to prostitute to Giriraj Maharaj. And then so Giriraj Maharaj was so much on this court and these things only, he forgot that the Janmashtami is coming very close. So then he understood, so only 1 week is remaining for Janmashtami. And then he wrote Prabhupada, Janmashtami is coming, so what should we do? Prabhupada told, we should celebrate so big way, so gorgeously we should celebrate. So for that you bring new dress for the Lord, bring so many jewelries for the Lord, and invite to the so many people, they come and to take darshan, to take prasad, to attend in kirtan, so many things. But the same thing, problem was that no fund. This is a problem they were lacking all the time. So then Giriraj Maharaj went to the donors, to his well-wishers. So he went to donors and invited them for this Janmashtami festival, and they gave so much donation also. And in this way, so much nice festival was arranging for the pleasure of the Lord. So in this way, there was nice reciprocation of Prabhupada by the devotees. First of all, Prabhupada was having so much anxiety also. This project can be happen nicely, because this project is so much the center of this this place, and therefore so in the future so many people is going to come there. So Prabhupada was having this thing, and still Prabhupada was going to different places for preaching, and therefore the one time came where lot of challenges was coming, and he was not able to handle as only Giriraj Swami Maharaj, and then he wrote letter Prabhupada to Prabhupada that this problem is happening, that problem is happening, and devotees are also living because they were not able to live this kind of some austere place. So what should we do? Then Prabhupada wrote letter to the Tamal Krishna Maharaj. You go from that place to Jew because the Giriraj Swami Maharaj is alone and is facing so much problem. Then he wrote letter to Brahmanand Prabhu. You also stop preaching for some time and then go to this place. So in that Prabhupada, so many leaders from different places he brought to the Jew temple, and then they were helping him so much. And then Prabhupada told, I am also going to come after some time, so by that time you will take care, and then Tamal Krishna Maharaj, all this thing will help you. So this way Prabhupada was giving responsibility to his devotees so nicely, although they were all new, and this is the first time experience in Indian population and dealing with Indian people and so much difficult situation. But they understood that this is the will of our spiritual master, so they were accepting. So therefore Prabhupada was giving them responsibilities, and Prabhupada was giving them support of also other devotees' requirement or some. One time it happened that they shifted the deities to the tin shed outside, and it was open door only, and just to close with the parda curtain. So in the night, although the devotee was just taking there only, but he somehow slept, and the thieves came and they stole the jewelry and the mukut of the deities. And then Giriraj Swami Maharaj wrote to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada told that actually this is not good, that things of Lord's things were getting stolen. So just purchase a new cupboard for the deities, keeping things for the deities in that cupboard, and use my room for keeping that cupboard in that room, so that it will not open. So Prabhupada was providing support, Prabhupada was providing facilities, and whatever they required for their services. And most important is, he was always encouraging and appreciating devotees. So whatever devotees were liking to do in Krishna consciousness, he was always encouraging, yes, you can go on that services. So these are I just shared this is called as the actually Ekanta Bhakta. Ekanta Bhakta is like for his remembrance or relishing Krishna consciousness is like very enjoying. But he will, like Prahlad Maharaj also says that when I see that people are suffering in this material world, I feel so much the pain. So similarly, for them only pain is that, or suffering is that, when they see that the people are not taking Krishna consciousness. So therefore, they just go out and take so much anxiety, so much difficult things in their life, and they just wanted to preach Krishna consciousness. So this is called Ekanta Bhakta. And the last point, Prabhupada is mentioning that although devotee does not need any money, they are just like, many times Prabhupada also say that. For devotees, what devotees that is not required to construct so big temple, they are happy just under the tree practicing Krishna consciousness. But for preaching to all kinds of people, all the masses of the people, we require so much fund, and we require big temples, and we require so much different kinds of facilities. So for one purpose, for oneself, they don't require any material possession. So Prabhupada writing that a devotee sometimes need material possession for preaching. So but the possession of a preacher, so for themselves they don't require, but for preaching purpose they require all these things. So therefore Krishna is providing them, and then that much only thing is providing, whatever requirement is there, and they are using in the service of Krishna. They were providing that whatever money you have, whatever things you have, used for the service of Krishna, and therefore so in this way the Krishna consciousness will be happen. So here more things are there. I just share one more thing, that how the Bhagavatam gives actually both picture of this world, material world and plus spiritual world. In material world, as we see that so much enmity, so much anxiety, so much challenges, so he will not able to properly focus on the things. Where the spiritual world, as we saw that like last week Janmashtami was there, so many Krishna Katha we heard that. So same thing in 10th canto, Bhagavatam is providing the spiritual world qualities, where everyone is having a center Krishna, where Krishna is having so much the center of everyone, and everyone likes to serve Krishna, everyone like to associate with Krishna, everyone want to give everything to the Krishna. Either they will be animals, or they will be friends, or the gopis, or the elderly gopis. So many, everyone wants to be with Krishna. So when something they see bad symptoms, something is happening, like when they saw that some bad omens are coming, so immediately they see that, they find where is Krishna, where is Krishna. Like when this Trinavarta cyclone came, after that immediately they are looking for Krishna, where is Krishna. So whenever things is happening, bad things is happening in the bridge, they always saying the anxiety. First they see the where is Krishna. Second thing they see that is Balaram is with Krishna. So Balaram is with Krishna. And when that is also not there, then they become so much upset, so much disturbed that they go everywhere and they find where is Krishna, where is Krishna. So their only center is Krishna. And they don't have enviousness, they don't have competition, material competition, spiritual competition. As we see that how boys, friends of Krishna, they are always wanted to play the game that I will touch Krishna first, I will touch Krishna first. So this is a spiritual world picture that Sukdev Goswami is showing to all of us. One side we are living the material world, we have to come out from that and we have to go for these things. So therefore, Bhagavatam is so much helping to all of us. So, okay. These are things according to my small brain, I just able to speak. So if I spoke something, please forgive me. So I will end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So 5 minutes we'll take a question, will be there, then otherwise we'll stop here.
I was just thinking about this Ekanta Dhyam word. So in Bhagavatam, this word comes at many places. So here, what I am trying to understand is that generally a practitioner of Ekant Bhakti will never say that I am Ekanta Bhakta. Generally, this is my. Surely. So here, is it that he is speaking about himself, or because Bhishma Pitama does speak like that when he is lying on bed? He said, Tathapi Ekanta Bhakteshu. Pashya Bhupanu Kampitam. See the mercy of Krishna to Ekanta Bhakta. So he's not talking about himself, he's talking about Yudhishthir. So here it appears that he is speaking about himself. So is it like that, or he is speaking a general principle? Because this Vitrasura is speaking here, right?
Prabhupada in purport actually clarifying that. Here it comes. Prabhupada is clarifying that it's unalloyed devotee. Unalloyed devotee means, of course, he is not glorifying about that his qualities. You are speaking like here, person who fully surrender at the lotus feet of Supreme Person of Godhead. Always think of lotus feet are recognized by the Lord. So you are speaking overall, like Gajendra also speak in this. he also not speaking about himself. He is speaking the general prayers. So means the nature of the devotional service and the nature of a devotee and the nature of the Supreme Lord. Like, so they speak about that, what is devotional service. For devotional service, they speak so many good qualities that even someone can do little things. And he speak about the devotional service also, about the pure devotees. And then he will speak about that, that I also one day aspiring to become to that devotion so that I can please you. So their prayers will be like understanding what pleases to the Lord, and in this way their aspiration is they are sharing their heart. So here something is not wrong that the pride I am speaking that. Gajendra also speaks that, my dear Lord, you are the Ekanta Bhakta is always, you are releasing so much thing. So, and many other places also come. Like Bhishma Pitama, you also told. So, they always glorify the pure devotees, glorify the qualities, and glorify the way the Lord will be pleased. And then at the end they will share that I am also aspiring for that, so that the day will come where I will get the mercy, so that I can be do that. If someone has, I don't know, I just because 2-3 places I understood like that, for that how the pure devotees, they just their goal of life is just to give happiness and pleasure to the Lord. So therefore aspiring. Okay. Anything?
Thank you. Actually, he does mention, as you mentioned in the last verse, he is telling his own condition.
Means they speak about
is
their
like a principle he is speaking.
They speak about their what things I am lacking. Surely every devotee should be speak that to Krishna, that I am lacking this, I am going to this struggle. But what is aspiring, they are also for waiting for the mercy of the Lord. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. हमारे भागवत कथा पूरे एकांत